book on creativity, different projects to kind of spark your creativity, and one of them was painting on aluminum foil. So I tried it, and even though it was what I do now is not anything like what they were doing, I really kind of took to it. I think I like the tactile, the feel, the ability to form. It's all acrylic on aluminum foil. I prime the foil first, then I usually do an underpainting, and then I'll start manipulating it, and then I just kind of let it fall the way it wants to fall, and I create. I love landscapes. Basically, I'm very much involved in the environment. I'm very environmentally conscious. A lot of it's about diversity, about how we all come from the earth, so we're all the same, but we're all different. This is kind of a play on sexuality because of the two men, and then the woman kind of going, great. It has multifacets, yes. I think that the City Arts Factory does a really good job of opening up their doors to letting all different types of artists in, emerging artists, established artists. They're very artist friendly, and they really do a good job of bringing the community together. I think, I feel that they do a good job of that. So
the idea behind the Peep Show was to catch slices of people's life when something happens. Either their fly is open, caught in a bathroom stall, as you can see. Just a slice of people's lives. I like the Crack Brothers, only because, you see people all the time like that. And the guys have their cracks showing. I like Superman. It made me laugh to think of him. A man with his fly open is what I wanted to do, but I couldn't figure out what to do. And for some reason, Superman popped in my head, and I thought, well, he'd be wearing Batman underwear, wouldn't he? And then the hand is this little edgier piece of mine, a lot of emotion. And Spider-Man, Wonder Woman, underwears. He would wear woman underwear, wouldn't he? And then the two people in the bathtub, I thought toes coming out of the water or suds, and then that evolved. Then the selfie, creeper, and then we have the wood burn piece I did, and then the classic woman's shoe with the pinky popping out. Then we have the peeping Tom on a bad wood paneling. I don't know what I was thinking there. And of course Lucy, I wanted to do a superhero female. She got a black thong on, and then Snoopy's biting her ass. So that's sort of the gist of it. Just make you laugh, It's kind of interesting though. They're doing things now that I did probably 30 years ago. And no one wanted that. It was weird art. They'll do weird stuff. But now weird's acceptable. So maybe I'm finally coming into my own with weird stuff. Who knows?
I love everything. I love nature. I love things from every sort of background. I work in the fire industry. I'm firefighter, paramedic. So I see things and they come to me in a very loud and kind of a violent way, and I put them in my artwork each and every day. And so I love bright colors, so you'll see a lot of it in my artwork, loud, abstract, in your face, and that's what I like. I say this all the time. You've got Miami, which is such a huge arts and cultural, but you've got Atlanta to the north of us. And I think a lot of us just diverge in Orlando. We're the center. You've got artists from all over coming to Orlando. We're not the biggest city, but when it comes to arts, we are. It's amazing in terms of the colleges and universities that have come together in this small area. I mean, compared to the normals like New York and Los Angeles.
I used to painting since I was 18 years old. It's a long time, but always as a hobby because I'm a journalist in Brazil. I'm from Brazil. Working 15 years as a journalist, then always painting in my free time. And when I came to US, I came because other passion that I have, that's skydiving. I became a skydive instructor, and I have a lot of free time in the afternoon. I start painting because it's my big passion too. And here in US, I'm so grateful and I'm so happy because it started to become more, professional. I was invited to participate in an exhibition in Miami this year, and another one in New Mexico, and here in Orlando. So it's great skydiving, and being an artist gives you the opportunity to travel the world and meet new cultures and this helps you to do new paintings. I have an American flag, and I did an Australian flag, I did a Brazilian flag. It's different paintings that I did before. I have this yellow Lamborghini here, and I did a Ferrari, a red Ferrari too, that I sold for a friend of mine. So the things get serious, and get more professional. So I'm so happy and so grateful, and I appreciate this opportunity to be here in this gallery in Orlando for the first time.
The City Arts Factory is a nice venue for allowing many artists the opportunity to come in and present their work to the public. So it's a very good thing that this city has that to offer people. Actually, I do both figurative works and non-figurative works. If I put too much thought into it or I'm trying to give a message, then I will paint under my real name. But if it's purely abstract, that is non-recognizable as anything, then I paint under the name Chen. It's a very spontaneous, creative process. I don't have to think a lot, and I can just kind of go with the flow. And that's what I like about it the most, the spontaneity of it. This particular piece is one of 3 works that were done, and essentially the principle using it was on a hard surface to apply both expanding foam, but also canvas on top of that. And then once that gives me a kind of a landscape textured effect, then I go and I conceive of the way I want to paint the thing on top of that. So this as far as these 3 panels go, this is the most dimensional of all of the 3.
I'm 71 years old and I'm doing some abstract art, and I have a long history of doing crafts, pottery, and stained glass, and I'm enjoying life and doing some interesting artwork. I love Jackson Pollock, and I found out I could do some work along that line, and I love color, and I'm a colorist, and I can throw and drip paint, and some kind of an emotion comes out on the canvases, as with all the other artists. These are done in the backyard. This time of year I can't do any painting because we're in December, but I have to have hot sun. Basically I put a tarp in the backyard, I put my canvas down, and I paint it from 4 directions, and I don't tilt the canvas. The paint dries in these patterns, and then I live with it, and then eventually a title occurs to me to go with the painting.
For this particular show, I did acrylics on paper. So they started out as sketches, and then I added in some washes and some work like that too. But this particular show that was here was all work that was under $200, which was a really good challenge for artists, to get their work out there, because usually work that's priced a little higher, sometimes harder to move. So having some work that you can actually put out there that may sell is a good thing. It's a great opportunity to grow as an artist, because you get a little bit that pressure to do more work and sell, because you're updated by the City Arts to perhaps do something about animals or fish or portraits or under 200 or something. So it's a great opportunity for artists, and there's very little opportunity for artists to show on a constant basis and also make money by it and make connections as well. So this is like the haven or the holy wall for artists. It's fabulous. I'm very privileged to show here.
I used a lot of diagrams and found drawings that I took and made like a icon, into icons that I repeat over and over. Clamp being one of them, and screw, and the fly I like a lot.
Why horses? Horses to me, quite simply, are iconic. They're emotional. They're just statuesque. I think they're the most beautiful creature to walk this earth. I've been painting since I was a little kid, visualizing sort of ideas, sometimes for myself and sometimes for other people. So fine arts is something I'm very interested in, but also illustration, and I am also a product designer. The wonderful thing about this community is it's so open and so friendly and so genuine. I actually just was excited for the opportunity, and especially here at City Arts Factory, because it just seems more like a community. Painting and drawing has always been my first love, so In 2012, late through 2012, my partner of 10 years passed from cancer. So, life restarts. And to get back in touch with myself sort of in the storm, I returned to painting. And in many ways had a story to tell now in painting that I couldn't have told 10 years ago. And so, in particular, the painting right here, the Lace Horses, this is about me and my late partner. And I call it Lace Horses because it's when two people, when you intermesh, when you can see that other person through me, when that you can see me through that other person. Each has their own individual sort of fingerprint, own design, but when they come together, they complement each other, and you can see both in that way. So that's where the sort of visual of the Lace Horses comes from. The funny thing about this painting is I had pretty much the whole thing rendered, and I felt good about it, except I hadn't finished quite down below, and I kind of let it be. But right before I brought it in here to show, I thought it's missing something. I feel like the white down below is a little too sharp, what have you, and I just put in just a wash of burnt sienna, and it just it did it. It came alive. Painting, you can't always pre-plan. You can't plot it out from start to finish, and sometimes, I don't know, maybe that's a metaphor for life, that, however much you want to plan, sometimes the more colorful, adventurous stuff happens in, spur of the moment.